Every year, cruise ships waste hundreds of thousands tons of uneaten food, enough to feed entire cities. And most passengers never see it happen. Every night at sea, after the music fades and the buffet lights dim, entire trays of perfectly good food disappear. Not scraped leftovers, not half-eaten plates, but the whole trays of roasts, seafood platters, desserts no one touched, gone. People assume it's donated. Others think it's reused. The truth is far more controlled, far more regulated, and far more shocking than most cruisers ever imagine. In this video, we're revealing where cruise buffet leftovers really go and why cruise lines are legally forbidden from saving them. So let's get started. Number 1. The scale of cruise ship food waste. The numbers are hard to ignore. Industry data estimates that the average cruise passenger generates 1.8 to 2 kilograms of waste per day, with food making up a significant portion. Multiply that by 5,000 to 6,000 passengers on a large ship over a 7-day sailing, and you're looking at dozens of tons of waste per voyage. Carnival Corporation has acknowledged that before waste reduction initiatives, some ships discarded over a ton of food per day. Even nowadays, despite improvements, food waste remains one of the largest operational challenges at sea. Senior cruisers often notice this more acutely. After years of careful budgeting and smaller portions at home, seeing mountains of uneaten food can feel unsettling, even uncomfortable. Cruise lines know this. That's why waste tracking has become a priority, not for appearances, but because every kilogram wasted costs money, energy, storage space, and regulatory risk. Number 2. The buffet line is the legal boundary. On a cruise ship, the buffet line isn't just a serving area, it's a legal boundary. Once food is placed on a self-service buffet, it is officially classified as served, even if not a single passenger touches it. From that moment on, the food can never be reused, repurposed, or saved. Why? Because buffets expose food to hundreds, sometimes thousands, of people. Passengers breathe over trays, touch serving utensils, and move food around without realizing it. Even if a dish looks untouched, there's no way to guarantee it hasn't been contaminated. At sea, foodborne illness isn't a minor inconvenience. A single outbreak can spread rapidly through a confined ship, overwhelming medical staff and forcing quarantines. For senior cruisers especially, the risks are far more serious. This is why cruise lines follow strict sanitation rules enforced by international and U.S. maritime health authorities. Once food reaches the buffet, its fate is no longer about quality, it's about safety. And safety leaves no room for second chances. Number 3. Why cruise ships always overprepare. A modern cruise ship functions like a small city, one that never stops eating. Large vessels routinely prepare 20,000 to 30,000 meals per day, including buffets, dining rooms, crew meals, and late-night service. That scale alone guarantees surplus. Unlike hotels on land, cruise ships can't restock if something runs out. Every ingredient must be loaded before departure and carefully planned for the entire voyage. Running out of food isn't an option. It leads to complaints, service disruptions, and logistical chaos. So cruise lines intentionally overprepare. It's not carelessness, it's risk management. Chefs must anticipate unpredictable passenger behavior, skipped meals on port days, sudden weather changes, and demographic preferences. A sunny beach day may leave buffets full. A stormy sea day can overwhelm them. Many senior cruisers have noticed this firsthand, walking into a nearly empty buffet one night and a fully stocked one the next. That unpredictability is exactly why waste exists. On a ship, abundance isn't luxury, it's insurance. Number 4. Kitchen food versus buffet food. Behind the scenes, cruise ship kitchens operate under a strict internal rule, where food has been determined what can happen to it. Food prepared but never sent out to passengers still has options. Buffet food does not. Inside the kitchen, a controlled, sanitized environment, and used ingredients or prepared dishes can sometimes be safely repurposed. Vegetables may become soup bases. Proteins may be incorporated into crew meals. Some unopened provisions are even donated at select ports. But once food crosses onto a buffet line, everything changes. Even if it looks flawless, it's legally treated as exposed. No exceptions, no second chances. This distinction shocks many cruisers, especially seniors who grew up in households where nothing was wasted. But on a cruise ship, emotional logic doesn't apply, legal logic does. The moment food enters the buffet zone, it's removed from the human decision-making process. From there on, its fate is governed by systems, machines, and laws, not chefs. Number 5. The hidden fear behind uneaten food. Foodborne illness is one of the greatest fears on a cruise ship, especially norovirus. In a confined environment with thousands of passengers sharing dining spaces, a single contamination can escalate into a ship-wide crisis within hours. For those who've lived through a ship-wide quarantine, this isn't theory. It's a memory. Cruise ships operate under zero-margin risk. If even one tray of buffet food were reused improperly, it could infect dozens or hundreds of passengers. Medical centers would be overwhelmed. Ports could deny docking. Entire sailings could be canceled. That's why cruise lines treat buffet food as radioactive once service ends. Even food that looks untouched is considered unsafe. A retired couple who cruised after age 70 recalled their ship being quarantined due to a gastrointestinal outbreak. Entire decks were locked down. Dining rooms closed. The vacation ended overnight. Cruise lines would rather discard tons of food than risk repeating that scenario. The waste feels shocking, but from an operational standpoint, safety always outweighs sentiment. Number 6. Cruise ships can't donate buffet leftovers. Many passengers feel proud believing their leftovers help someone else. Discovering that this is legally impossible doesn't just surprise them, it disappoints them. Donation is almost always illegal once food reaches a self-service buffet. International biosecurity laws are the reason. Once food leaves a controlled kitchen and is exposed to passengers, it's classified as potentially contaminated, even if no one touched it. Ports strictly prohibit offloading prepared food due to the risk of introducing bacteria, pests, or animal diseases into local ecosystems. One senior cruiser from Florida described watching trays of untouched food being cleared and asking crew if it would be donated. The answer shocked her: "We're not allowed. Not anywhere." If donated food caused illness, the cruise line would be legally responsible. Lawsuits, port bans, and multi-million-dollar penalties would follow. Because of that risk, cruise lines choose disposal over donation every time. That's why food waste prevention must happen before the buffet opens, because after that moment, the fate of that food is already sealed. Number 7. The machines that erase food. Once buffet food is cleared, it doesn't go into regular trash bins. It enters an industrial process hidden deep below deck. Modern cruise ships are equipped with pulpier systems, grinders, and dehydrators designed to process massive volumes of organic waste quickly. Food is ground into slurry, moisture is removed, and volume can be reduced by up to 80 to 90% before storage or disposal. This matters because food waste is heavy. Water weight alone makes storage expensive and dangerous. Removing moisture reduces odor, pests, and sanitation risks. Most passengers never realize these machines run daily, sometimes non-stop, especially after dinner service. A senior cruiser once joked that while guests slept, the ship was eating its own leftovers. The system isn't glamorous, but it's tightly regulated. Every kilogram processed is logged. Nothing is casual. Nothing is forgotten. The goal isn't recycling for comfort, it's control, safety, and compliance. Number 8. When food is allowed to enter the ocean. This is the part many people don't want to hear. Under MARPOL Annex 5, cruise ships are legally allowed to discharge processed food waste into the ocean, but only under strict conditions. The food must be ground to specific particle sizes, and the ship must be at least 12 nautical miles from land. Even then, every discharge is recorded in a garbage record book. Time, location, volume all logged. Inspectors audit these records regularly. Because penalties can exceed $1 million per violation, most cruise lines minimize ocean discharge whenever possible. Still, it remains legal and real. Environmental groups argue that repeated discharges along cruise routes can affect marine ecosystems. Cruise lines counter that processed organic waste disperses naturally and is far less harmful than plastic or oil. The truth lies in between. It's legal, it's regulated, but it's not invisible and it's not impact-free. Number 9. How cruise lines quietly reduce waste. Cruise lines don't reduce waste by removing buffets. That would cause outrage. Instead, they reduce waste invisibly. Trays are now smaller, refilled more often. Portions are adjusted based on time of day and passenger demographics. Dishes that consistently go uneaten are quietly reduced or rotated out. Carnival and Royal Caribbean have publicly stated that AI-driven food tracking systems now monitor what's prepared, what's eaten, and what's discarded. Over time, these systems learn passenger behavior and adjust production automatically. One veteran cruiser noticed the change. The buffet still looked full, but there was less sitting out. That's the point. According to industry disclosures, these strategies have reduced food waste by 30 to 40% on newer ships without passengers ever realizing it. The abundance remains. The waste doesn't, at least not like it used to. Number 10. The cost of uneaten food on passengers' bill. That waste doesn't disappear financially. It's built into your fare, your gratuities, your onboard pricing. You don't see it itemized, but you pay for it. Processing leftover food costs money at every stage. Labor, energy, storage, compliance, and port disposal fees. Food waste is weighed, logged, dehydrated, and either stored or offloaded at approved facilities. None of that is free. Industry disclosures show that food waste handling can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars per ship per year, depending on size and itinerary. Older ships without advanced waste systems pay more because they rely heavily on port offloading. A retired engineer cruising in his 70s once noticed fewer buffet options late at night compared to a decade earlier. That wasn't cost-cutting greed, it was waste reduction. Smaller batch cooking, fewer end-of-night trays, and more staff-served stations are all responses to waste costs. Passengers don't see the invoice, but they feel the changes. Cruise lines don't waste food casually. They pay for every uneaten tray long after the dining room closes. Number 11. Why zero-waste cruises don't actually mean zero. Some cruise lines now promote zero waste or zero landfill initiatives, but those phrases are often misunderstood. Zero landfill doesn't mean zero leftovers. It means waste is processed differently, not magically eliminated. Food still goes uneaten. It's just diverted through onboard systems instead of being sent directly to landfills. Modern ships use dehydration, pulping, and biodigestion to reduce food waste volume, sometimes by up to 80 to 90% before final disposal or processing. But even after that, residue remains. Some is offloaded. Some is legally discharged under strict maritime rules. None of it simply disappears. A senior couple who cruise annually noted how buffets feel less overflowing than they used to. That's intentional. Abundance is now managed more carefully because zero-waste claims come with scrutiny from regulators and investors. The uncomfortable truth is this: there is no such thing as a zero-waste cruise yet. There are only systems designed to make waste less visible and less damaging. Number 12. The future of cruise buffets. For longtime cruisers, the buffet they remember is slowly disappearing. Not because of cost, but because the old model can't survive scrutiny. The biggest shift is toward prediction instead of excess. Data from previous sailings, passenger demographics, itinerary length, and even weather forecasts now shape how much food is prepared. On newer ships, buffets increasingly rely on smaller trays replaced more frequently, made-to-order stations, and staff-served portions during low-demand hours. A senior cruiser who has sailed for over 30 years described it perfectly. It feels the same, but you don't see food sitting out as long. That's the goal. Luxury is being redefined from overflowing to fresh. In the next decade, cruise buffets will likely resemble curated tasting halls more than self-serve cafeterias. The change isn't about saving money alone. It's about reducing legal risk, environmental pressure, and public scrutiny, all while keeping passengers satisfied. Number 13. How passengers can make a difference. For all the technology and regulation involved, passenger behavior still matters. Buffet psychology encourages overloading plates because abundance signals value. But every uneaten serving triggers a costly chain reaction behind the scenes. Senior cruisers, in particular, often set the best example. Many already take smaller portions, return for seconds, and favor freshly prepared stations. One longtime cruiser put it simply: "I'd rather walk back twice than waste food." That mindset aligns perfectly with how ships now manage dining. Smaller initial portions reduce waste without limiting choice. Choosing made-to-order stations ensures food is cooked because someone wants it, not because it might be wanted. Asking questions also helps. When passengers show awareness, cruise lines respond. Waste reduction doesn't mean less enjoyment. It often means better quality, fresher food, and safer operations. The most surprising truth is this: the future of cruise dining isn't controlled only by executives or engineers. It's shaped every day by what passengers choose to put and leave on their plates. Cruise buffet leftovers don't vanish by accident. They move through a hidden system shaped by law, risk, cost, and responsibility. What looks like waste is often the price of safety at sea. And once you understand where uneaten food really goes, the buffet stops looking careless and starts looking controlled. Next time you walk past a full tray at closing time, remember, you're not seeing excess. You're seeing a system balancing abundance with consequences, quietly, every night, beneath your feet.